ecstatic love, he again became developed and healthy. This is real life, the real life of the soul. The soul living in its natural state in the immortal plane, to be nourished by connection with the Lord and the Vaishnavas, and to feel loss and separation, pain, depletion in the absence of that connection. So here we live in the world of mundane duality, but there is divine duality. That verse, Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma na Shochati na Kankshati, this is primary. One who has realized their self as Brahma, being of the nature of Brahma, of spirit, na Shochati na Kankshati. They do not lament after anything, and they do not hanker after anything of this world. Because they know it is all matter, that we are spirit. Why should we desire anything of the mundane? And why should we lament if we lose anything of the mundane? So there is no need. One who is Brahma Bhuta, who has realized their spiritual self, they are not disturbed by this mundane duality. But then on the other side, there is divine duality. And Madhavendra Puri, Srila Madhavendra Puri Pad, he expresses this mood that Mahaprabhu is describing, to feel lamentation, to hanker for the connection with Krishna, and to feel joy in that union, and to lament in separation, in the absence of that connection. So Madhavendra Puri, he expresses this. His disciple Ramchandra Puri, he is applying this lower principle, that one who has realized spirit will not lament or desire. But Madhavendra Puri, he is expressing in connection to the divine plane, which is described here in regards to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And now we are caught up in the throes of mundane duality. Loss and gain, happiness and sadness, heat and cold, and enemy and friend. This is all due to our false identification with this plane. But our aspiration is to enter this positive plane of divine duality.
So often we hear that when we say like this, then they say, I'm not suffering, right? They don't want to admit often that. Otherwise it would be easy, right?
Mm.
Yes, of course, you suffer. Yeah, what is the solution? They don't want to admit it.
Mm. Take some sukriti, some grace to the light of Shri Guru for us to have awareness of these things. Have awareness that we are suffering actually. Our taste is so meager. Our palate is so undeveloped. So we are satisfied with very cheap and lower things. Our gurus, they're trying to give us introduce us to some higher taste. If we have tasted pizza from Rome and Italy, then we can't be satisfied with pizza that we tasted at some Staines Road. But if you've always lived in Staines and you always eat the pizza on Staines Road, you think it's very fine. You think it's great. But once you get a taste of the Roman pizza, then you will become disgusted with that lower taste. So that is what our gurus are trying to do. They're trying to give us that higher taste. So earnestly how can you be satisfied with this such a cheap and lower thing? You don't know what I am tasting. I want you to taste that. Vairagya yu bhakti, the samprayat. This is the verse that Gurudev quoted in that talk he gave. They made that nice video. Shakti Maharaj made that nice video, forced to drink nectar. We remember that. So beautiful. I was, living in ignorance and darkness. My Gurudev, he caused me, forcefully tried to make me drink this nectar of devotion. Vairagya Bhakti, there's some prayat there. Bhakti rasa, the bhakti rasa, the nectar of devotion, the ecstasy of devotion, he caused me to taste. Apayamam anabhiksham undone. I was blind. Vipambudir, Paradukudu, Sanatana Stanpuru Vasharam. Kolar Sharalatte Shoyanati Kinakai Sharalatte Hadalage Vyata Voikai. Because he was very thin when he lay down to rest on the dry bark of plantain trees, it caused him pain in his bones. And he would refuse to take something more comfortable also. He lived such an extreme life of vairagya. They tried to give him some comfortable cotton mattress. He would refuse, because he is living as a sannyasi. So dry bark of plantain trees, this is his mattress. Oh, I think we're going to read that now. Ekisa Bhaktagan Mahaduka Pai Sahite Nade Jagadananda Shijila Upai. All the devotees felt very unhappy to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in pain. Indeed, they could not tolerate it. Then Jagadananda Pandit devised a remedy. Shukma Vashtrani Goridiya Rangaila Shumulir Tuladiya Taha Paraila. He acquired some fine cloth and colored it with red oxide. Then he filled it with cotton from a shimul tree. Ekatuli Balish Govinder Hatte Dila Prabhude Shojai Jai Hai Tahade Kohila. In this way he made a quilt and a pillow, which he then gave to Govinda, saying, "Ask the Lord to lie on this." Sarup Gosaike Kohe Jagadananda Ajiya Panijaya Prabhude Koraiho Shayana. Jagadananda said to Sri Damodar Goswami, "Today, please personally persuade Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to lie down on the bed." Shoyaner Kale Swarup Tahai Rohila Tuli Balish Deki Prabhu Kodavishta Hoila. When it was time for the Lord to go to bed, Sri Damodar stayed nearby. But when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the quilt and pillow, he was immediately very angry. Govindere Puchaniha Korailo Kanjan Jagadananda Shuni Sankucha Hoilomam. The Lord inquired from Govinda, "Who has made this?" When Govinda named Jagadananda Pandit, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was somewhat fearful. Govindere Kohise Tuli Dor Koila Kolar Shorala Upar Shoyan Kodilo. After asking Govinda to put aside the quilt and pillow, the Lord lay down on the dry plantain bark. Sarup Kohito Maricha Ki Kohite Pari Sriyukta said to the Lord, I cannot contradict your supreme will, my Lord. But if you do not accept the bedding, Jagadananda Pandit will feel great unhappiness. Prabhu kohen katta ekana ho padite, Jagadananda chahe amai vishoy vanjaite. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, you might as well bring a bedstead for me to lie on. Jagadananda wants me to enjoy material happiness. Sanyasi manushama rumite shoyan, amare katta tuli bali smashtake mundam. I am in the renounced order, and therefore I must lie on the floor. For me to use a bedstead, quilt, or pillow would be very shameful. And of course, one may wonder, why Mahaprabhu is following such extreme austerity. And on the one hand, we can say, it can be an expression of renunciation, can be a side effect or an expression of extreme devotion, because one is wholly fixed in the consciousness of wanting to serve their Lord and the higher Vaishnavas. And so any personal comfort, it is distasteful to them. They want to, like Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatana Goswami, when Rupa Goswami brings him the sweet rice, that he comes to realize has been prepared, that the ingredients were supplied by Srimati Radharani herself. Sanatana Goswami, he's very upset. He's very unhappy. He's angry. I want to serve her. She is our supreme mistress, and she has come to serve me. So they are 100% given to the Lord and the Lord's own. And so any conception of receiving service, any conception of personal comfort, it is very distasteful to them. It even can be disgusting to them. So it can be this extreme type of renunciation, it can be an expression of devotion. And because they are tasting something so much higher, they also don't need anything of this world. That is one reason why we can't imitate it. They're tasting the Bhakti Asa. They're tasting the Prapana Jivanamrita. So they don't need any, that is sustaining them. That is giving them life and nourishment. They don't need, there's nice verses at the end of the Majjhi Leela. They don't need like bread and rice. That makes the people of this world strong. But those who are living on that higher nectar, they don't become strong by the food of this world. Their life is sustained by that higher nectar. But then another view, that is one reason, but another way we can understand Mahaprabhu's Vairagya is that, Srila Gurudev, Srila Sridhar Maharaj have explained, that was the expectation of the time. That sannyas, literally sannyas means, samyak, nyas, complete renunciation. That was the expectation. And also in that area of India, it was mainly Mayavadis who were sannyasis, and for them, renunciation is so, it is very prominent. So for that reason also, to uphold the dignity of the Vaishnava group, then he is following, this was the expectation of society. He would not be taken seriously otherwise. And so we see that with Mahaprabhu. We see also in his followers, like Guru, who lived a sannyas life, maybe not formally taking the order, but like Guru, Sanatan, Raghunath Das Goswami especially, they all lived like that. And then in our modern age, we are following the principle, Yukta Vairagya. We are utilizing everything. And And Gurudev, that was established in the writings of Rup Sanatan, and it was implemented by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And we're following Srila Saraswati Thakur. And Srila Gurudev, he also, one time he commented, he was discussing this point, the strictness that Mahaprabhu followed in his group. He mentioned also how he didn't disturb the norms of the time. He didn't try and start some revolution. He generally, of course, some things he did were revolutionary, like distributing the Mahamantra freely. But otherwise, he did not disturb the customs of the time. Like Gurudev gave the example of Rupa and Sanatana not being allowed to enter the temple, Jagannath temple. Mahaprabhu, he could have easily changed that, but he didn't. Why is it necessary to disturb the society? Within the Bhakti, as Maharaj was mentioning last night, is a haitukiya pratihata. It is independent of anything of this world, any circumstance of this world. We don't need a particular environment to practice devotion. It is independent of any wave or flow of this world. So why make a big ado about some worldly situation? It may not be based on the principles of pure devotion, but we can work around that. That's what Krishna consciousness is about, working around things. But then Gurudev mentioned, he said, and that same movement of Mahaprabhu, it is continuing today with Jagannath Vallabh, Avadut March, the big festivals that he puts on, including so much variety, including so many, elements of this world. That same, what appears like this 500 years ago, it's now appearing like this, in 2007. So, Desh, Kal, Patra, time, according to time, place, circumstance, we will adjust the practice, presentation of Krishna consciousness. That inner current is the same. That inner purity, inner current is the same. That outer manifestation may change. So we won't be fixed on one particular external representation. Okay. So Mahaprabhu is refusing the cotton mattress. Sadhugosayasi Pandit kohila Shuni Jagadananda mone mahadu paila. When Sriyukta Damodar returned and related all these incidents, Jagadananda Pandit felt very unhappy. Sadhugosai tobe shijila prakar kadavir shukha pachani lapar. Then Sriyukta Damodar Goswami devised another method. First he secured a large quantity of dry banana leaves. Nake chiri chiri tahati shukma koila Prabhur bahe vastuite sesa gorila. He then tore the leaves into very fine fibers with his nails and filled 2 of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's outer garments with the fibers. Hemata dui koila udan padane Angikar koila prabhuane jatane. In this way, Sriyukta Damodar made some bedding and a pillow. This is sustainable living. Using your old clothes and dried leaves for a mattress. In this way, Sriyukta Damodar made some bedding and a pillow. And after much endeavor by the devotees, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted them.
Yeah, I'm going to get the breath.
Tate Shoyan Korim Prabhu Deki Sobe Suki Jagadananda Vitare Kro Everyone was happy to see the Lord lie down on that bed. But Jagadananda was inwardly angry, and externally he appeared very unhappy. Formerly, when Jagadananda Pandit had desired to go to Vrindavan, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had not given his permission, and therefore he could not go. Now, concealing his anger and unhappiness, Jagadananda Pandit again asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for permission to go to Mathura. Prabhu kohe Mathura jai bambai kroda kori, ambai dosh lagaya tumi hoiba bhikari. With great affection, Mahaprabhu said, "If you are angry with me when you go to Mathura, you will merely become a beggar and criticize me." Jagadananda koye Prabhu doriya charan, porva hoite ichamor jaite Vrindavan. Grasping the Lord's feet, Jagadananda Pandit then said, "For a long time I have desired to go to Vrindavan." Prabhu agya nahi tate na pari jaite, ebe agya deho vasya jaimu nishchite. I could not go without your Lordship's permission. Now you must give me permission, and I shall certainly go there. Prabhu prite targama nakode nangikar, deho prabhutai agya mage bar bar. Because of affection for Jagadananda Pandit, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not permit him to depart. But Jagadananda Pandit repeatedly insisted that the Lord give him permission to go. Vrindavan. Sarup Gosai Pandit Koila Nivedan, Porva Hoite Vrindavan Jaite Mohan. Jagadananda then submitted a plea to Sri Damodar Goswami. For a very long time, he said, I wanted to go to Vrindavan. Prabhu agya vina taha jaite na pari, eve agya nadin more krode jaha boli. I cannot go there, however, without the Lord's permission, which at present he denies me. He says, you are going because you are angry at me. Sahaje moy taha jaite mano hoy, Prabhu agya loye devo koriye binoy. Naturally, I have a desire to go to Vrindavan. Therefore, please humbly request him to grant his permission. Tabe Swarup Gosai kohe Prabhu charane, Jagadananda ichha bodo jaite Vrindavane. Thereafter, Sri Damodar Goswami submitted this appeal at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jagadananda Pandit, I'm slipping into the Bengali meter again. Jagadananda Pandit intensely desires to go to Vrindavan. So even Jagadananda Pandit, who is one of the most intimate servitors of Mahaprabhu, he is honoring Sri Damodar as being in a superior position. Of course, no. Jagadananda Pandit, actually, one could say, he is more intimately connected with Mahaprabhu, right? Jagadananda Pandit, he is representing Satyabhama. But still, this is the relationship, and there's some order here. And Sri Damodar, this is his post. This is the peculiarity. Actually, the position of Lalita Saki, Sri Damodar, is supreme, right? She's giving order to Krishna. She's giving order to Radharani. So here Jagadananda is asking Sri Damodar to pray on his behalf, even though he himself has such a particular, intimate relationship with the Lord. Still, that honor is being given to Sri Damodar as having a higher position, actually. Nothing is straight here. Nothing is straight or direct or black and white. There's so many nuances here. So who compares to Sri Damodar? Who compares to Lalita Sakhi? She is what was that expression of Gurudev, like the great general or something, or he had some expression. The group leader, but something else. But she is like the head of all the service, actually. Her position is supreme. So then Sri Damodar goes to Mahaprabhu on the behalf. And then you can also say, why should we feel ashamed to put ourselves in the care of a Vaishnava or under a Vaishnava? Like in this song that we sing, Kobe Shri Chaitanya More Koribe, that beautiful song we sing in Navadvip. It's expressing that, when will I go and take shelter of a Vaishnava? That Vaishnava, I will express my situation to that Vaishnava, and that Vaishnava on my behalf will pray to the Lord. On my behalf, will pray to the Lord on my behalf. I will submit my tale to a Vaishnava. On my behalf, that Vaishnava will go to the Lord. So even Jagadananda Pandit is following this process. So we should not feel any shame to do that. It is not a lower thing to take shelter of a Vaishnava, to beg a Vaishnava to go on our behalf to the Lord. Even Jagadananda Pandit is doing this. He has one of the most intimate. Actually, the relationship you see with Jagadananda and Mahaprabhu, it doesn't compare to anything else, the type of closeness and intimacy that they have. It mentions Mahaprabhu is afraid, several times. Mahaprabhu is afraid of Jagadananda Pandit. So how close and intimate is their connection. But still, Jagadananda, he's respecting this. He's honoring this process, going to a Vaishnava. So, Sri Damodar has taken this to Mahaprabhu. Tomarta yagyateho mage barbar, agyadeho maturede kiaise kabar. He begs for your permission again and again. Therefore, please permit him to go to Mathura and then return. Aire de kite jaiche gore de she jai, taiche kabar Vrindavan de kiai. You permitted him to go see Mother Shakshi in Bengal, and you may similarly permit him to go see Vrindavan and then return here. Sriyukta Sair bole, Prabhu agya dila, Jagadananda bolaya, Tade Shikaila. At the request of Sri Damodar Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu granted Jagadananda Pandit permission to go. The Lord sent for him and instructed him as follows. Varanasi parjanta sachande jaiva pate, age sabadane jaiva kechiyadi sate. You may go as far as Varanasi without encountering disturbances. But beyond Varanasi, you should be very careful to travel on the path in the company of the Kshatriyas. Purport: in those days, the path from Varanasi to Vrindavan was infested with robbers, and therefore there were Kshatriyas to protect travelers. Keval godiya paile, bhattapad kori bande, sabaluti pandira ke jaite vidore. As soon as the plunderers on the road see a Bengali traveling alone, they take everything from him, arrest him, and do not let him go. Purport. Bengalis are generally not very stout and strong. Therefore, when a lone Bengali traverses the roads of Bihar, the plunderers on the road capture him, rob all his belongings, and kidnap him for their own service. According to one opinion, the rogues of Bihar know very well that Bengalis are intelligent. Therefore, these thieves generally force the Bengalis into service requiring intelligence and do not allow them to leave. This is mentioned a few times. It seems like this was something of the time, that Bengalis were known to be not so brave. Maybe more intelligent, but not so physically brave. Also when Mahaprabhu, he has that encounter with some Muslims. What is it exactly? Oh yeah, these Muslim soldiers, Mahaprabhu goes into a fit of ecstasy. He's traveling with a few devotees, and just as he faints, then this group of Muslim soldiers come, and they're very suspicious, and they think that these devotees have given Mahaprabhu some poison and stolen his belongings, and so they question these devotees traveling with Mahaprabhu. They want to arrest them, but it mentions there that the two Bengali devotees with Mahaprabhu, they were trembling. And then there were one or two other devotees from UP, and they were the brave ones. So somehow this is something of the time. Okay. So they will see that you are Bengali, they will take advantage of you, try to plunder you. Just like Mother Shachi, a gentle Vaishnava lady, and some thief takes advantage of her, steals her phone. Think, oh, this gentle Vaishnava, saintly lady, she's an easy target for us. And they take your things. Then when you reach Mathura, you should remain with Sanatana Goswami and offer respectful obeisances to the feet of all the leading men there. Norirohi Bhakti koriho sange narohiba tasabar chachishta loite nariba. Do not mix freely with the residents of Mathura. Show them respect from a distance. Because you are on a different platform of devotional service, you cannot adopt their behavior and practices. Sanatan sange koriho vandarashan sanatana sangana charibaye kakam. Visit all 12 forests of Vrindavan in the company of Sanatana Goswami. Do not leave his association for even a moment. Shigra sihotahana roiho chiraka govardhane nachariko dekite nupa. You should remain in Vrindavan for only a short time and then return here as soon as possible. Also, do not climb Govardhan Hill to see the Gopal Jitu. So these are the famous 4 instructions, right, that Mahaprabhu gave Jagadananda Pandit, which are applicable for all of us, and which Gurudev and our gurus have quoted when we are visiting. If we are going to Vrindavan, we will remember these things. Stay under the care of Sanatana Goswami. Stay under the care of the superior Vaishnava, in the shelter of the Vaishnava. Don't climb the Govardhan Hill, as it is Krishna himself. You want to go, of course that deity is not there anymore, right? But still, not to climb that Govardhan Hill, it is Krishna himself. Don't mix with the local people too closely. They have their own way of doing things, their own habits. No, don't mix too close. We will show respect to them from a distance. And don't stay too long there. Of course, if one has service, then They may stay as long as required. If they are there by the desire of Guru Vaishnava, then they have some protection. And we saw that even Srila Gurudev himself, he was very, he had some extra caution when he went to Vrindavan. In his humility, Janardhan Maharshi said how Gurudev commented, now I've come to Vrindavan, I have to do some austerity. Have to be careful there. Navadvip we feel more relaxed. Especially Aparad Ranjan Pat, place where all offenses are forgiven. Param Gurudev so mercifully established his temple there. We feel a little more relaxed there. This is Mahaprabhu's place, this is Nityananda Prabhu's place. They are so merciful, they are Pati Pavan. Their mercy will be drawn to the most fallen. Of course, we don't want to take advantage of that. But we feel, a little more safe. And of course, in his humility, that was Srila Sridhar Maharaj's thinking when he chose. He was deciding between three places, between Uddhav Kyari, the place where Radharan invented a mood of divine separation after meeting with Uddhava and Vrindavan, and the Gambhira in Puri, where Mahaprabhu expressed the deep mood of separation, and Navadvip. These three places. And finally he thought, I am a fallen soul, Navadvip is the place for the fallen souls. That will be the best place for me to stay. Vrindavan is for the highest section of liberated souls. And so we selected that place, taking permission from Nityananda Prabhu, Dhameshwar, the master of Dham. So Mahaprabhu is giving these instructions to Jagadananda Pandit for us, actually. This is for our instruction he is giving these. Amiho asite chi kohi ho sanatane amartare ekstane jenu kore Vrindavane. Inform Sanatana Goswami that I am coming to Vrindavan for a second time, and that he should therefore arrange a place for me to stay. And this instruction is here, but it is not mentioned that Mahaprabhu goes again. Well, whether he goes again or not, we don't know. He may be saying this to show his love, that I'm thinking of you, and the devotees there will become very excited if they hear Mahaprabhu may be coming, and they can spend their energy in some service, preparing some place for him. And they will be very happy with that. Like we experience with ourselves. Any hint that Gurudev is coming, everybody is very excited, very enthusiastic. Everyone's getting some rejuvenation. Always, sometimes, especially in those last years, right? I was in Navadvip, but I heard from the devotees, they're always their ears are always or sometimes they're sending messages to Bhaktananda Prabhu, any news, any news, any news. If there's any slight indication, everyone's very excited, inspired, oh, maybe Gurudev's going to come. And he could just suddenly go somewhere also. Supreme Prabhu told me how he was always afraid to leave SoCal in the last years, because it was always maybe Gurudev's going to come, and then it would take so much preparation. So he was always living in that consciousness, maybe Gurudev's going to come, we have to prepare. Very beautiful. Yeah. Very wonderful to live like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's after 8. Okay. Okay, well, I think it's a good place to stop. Let's read one more verse. Hetapoli Jagadananda Koilayalingam Jagadananda Cholila Prabhu Vandiya Charam. After saying this, the Lord embraced Jagadananda Pandit, who then worshipped the Lord's lotus feet and started for Vrindavan. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai, Shri Jagadananda Pandit ki Jai, Shri Krishna's Hari. Want to sing me?
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yaravaya Nama.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yaravaya Nama.
Yaravaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama.
Yaravaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama.
Gopala Govindaram Madhusudana.
Gopala Govindaram Madhusudana.
Giridhari Gopinatha Madhana.
Giridhari Gopinatha Madhana Mohana.
Chaitanya Vijayana Shriya Chaitanya. scheppen die we eten. Ja.
I checked that sound last night. It was okay. There's some like kind of fuzzy stuff in the background, but it was clear.
I'm quite concerned about the sound because people like if you to watch 1.5 hours of something which is like not like perfectly recorded, it can get.
Did you listen to it yourself? Have a listen. I thought it was okay. See what you think. You're the professional.
No, not really. I'm not really, but I just like it's like a raw material which has to be recorded in such a quality that something can be used for quotes in the future. No, that's the idea. That's like a mine. First they get all the like rough material, and then out of that they take the quotes. So this has to be recorded in a raw, high quality. So later in the future, when we have more people